On today's show, look at how cute that animal looks. Plus, where did Bernadette go? Kate Blanchett might have the answer. And the Joker movie wraps filming, but we're going to talk about it like we just saw the movie. Movie Talk starts right now. Get one picture to talk about, and we're going to gab.
Oh, what a picture it is.
And we know everything based on that one picture.
That's right. There's a lot riding on that picture and on this movie. We'll get into all of that and more. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Ellis. This is Collider Movie Talk. I'm the erstwhile host. Over there is Perri Nemiroff, a worthy competitor, always, day in, day out, on Words with Friends. And over there is Jeff Sneider, who once or twice played me in Words with Friends, but it seems like the well has dried up, Jeff.
Oh, yes. I've run away with my tail between my legs.
And what was
What
was the reason why you don't want to compete with me in Words with Friends?
You know why? Because you're good, Ellis. Because you're good and you're dragging down my ranking, my global ranking.
Can't even look me in the eye when he says it. Well, we're going to get into all those news stories and more. Then we're going to save some time for your live Twitter questions at the end of the show. But we do kick off with some sad news that we first reported here at Collider on Collider Live this morning as it came across our desk, and that is the sad passing of director-actress Penny Marshall at the age of 75 due to complications from diabetes. She first came on the scene in a big way with the hit sitcom Laverne and Shirley. It was a spinoff of Happy Days, and then it became a monster hit and a timeless classic sitcom in its own right. She then ventured into the world of directing, where she made such classic fare as Big. That was the first movie that was made by a woman to make over $100 million at the box office. She did Awakenings, where she became the second female director to be nominated for Best Director, and she did A League of Their Own, which I consider the all-time classic sports movie, really movie in general. She also stepped in to direct Jumpin' Jack Flash, and that was her first movie. And she worked with comedic stars like Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, and was able to elevate their game to another level. Perri Nemiroff, kick off with you. Thoughts on Penny Marshall?
Yeah, I mean, every single time we go through one of these, it's sad and heartbreaking, but you got to hold on to the legacy that she leaves behind. And personally, Penny Marshall made a pretty big impression on my life with how often I watched, in particular, A League of Their Own growing up. That was a big deal for me, especially as a young woman who went to sleepaway camp and wanted to play sports with the boys and did. And I just watched that movie over and over. And it's one of my all-time favorites. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, firmly in my top 10. And every so often it flirts with my top 5. So that was always a big deal to me. And I'll just never forget, nights lying awake in the middle of the night watching Nick at Night and Laverne and Shirley. I've watched quite a few of those episodes over time.
Yeah, she obviously came from a very talented family when it comes to the world of entertainment, Jeff. And later in her career, she started directing a lot of TV episodes. And I think what she's most going to be known for and certainly celebrated today is the movies that Perry's talking about. I mean, A League of Their Own, Awakenings, where it was actually nominated for Best Picture, not Best Director, and Big. I mean, it's just 3 lines on her resume, but it speaks volumes about what she was able to do.
Yeah, she is a fantastic director. Enough of this female director nonsense. She's just great regardless of her gender. Big and A League of Their Own are classics to me. Like, I loved these movies growing up. I still love Big. I cry at the end when Josh comes home. A League of Their Own is one of the most quotable movies of all time. It's a classic sports movie. I can't say enough about her. She's only the second woman ever to direct a Best Picture nominee. Just a brilliant, commercially minded filmmaker. I mean, when you adjust for inflation and everything, not only do Big and A League of Their Own get over 200 million, Awakenings is over 100 million, The Preacher's Wife is almost 100 million. It's a very short list of filmmakers that she's on.
Yeah, and Laverne and Shirley's great. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen it recently, but it used to be on Nick at Night all the time. I haven't ventured to Nick at Night in a while, but I might tonight just to catch more episodes of it because I forgot it was a spin-off of Happy Days. Forget how many sitcoms Happy Days spun off. Speaking of Happy Days, Gary Marshall involved with that. Penny Marshall, the daughter of Gary Marshall, a legend who we lost not too long ago as well. So it's a tough time, certainly in the Marshall family and for all of us who loved the entertainment that they brought to us. Penny Marshall's all-time legacy. Is it too early to start thinking about which movie do you think is the one that is the headline when you think about Penny Marshall? Perri, obviously for you, it's A League of Their Own. And Jeff, it seems like it's Big to you.
Yeah, it's a tough call because A League of Their Own is so great, and I actually think that A League of Their Own maybe will stand the test of time, bigger and longer. I don't know, just being...
I look at both of them at being able to do that. It's just because of my personal connection, I think, to A League of Their Own that I have that even topping Big. But they both kind of go hand in hand in terms of them being true classics, where it doesn't matter how old I get, it doesn't matter how many generations we add on, you are going to be able to share that with any movie lover, and they're going to find something to connect to and hold on to.
It's tough to choose. I guess I would go big, being a young guy. Like, I just felt like Tom Hanks in that movie and his redheaded buddy, like, with the silly string and the googly eye glasses and all that kind of stuff. It's just these movies made me happy. You know what? They put a smile on my face, and so thank you to Penny Marshall.
I'm sure they still make you happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now I'm going to go back and rewatch them.
Yeah, and A League of Their Own. You see so many period pieces that are set in a different time and place, and it doesn't feel quite authentic. And she managed to capture such an authentic vibe and have dialogue that feels like it fits into any time and place. So you believe that it's happening in the 1940s. You could have believed it was happening now. The way that the characters interact with each other, it's so heartfelt. It's so funny. A League of Their Own is my favorite film that she's done, but certainly Awakenings I would toss in there as well. Penny Marshall gone at the age of 75.
There's one thing I wanted to add. Melissa Silverstein on Twitter mentioned how Penny was kind of put into directing jail after riding in cars with boys, and how women weren't able to fail then, how they're still not able to fail. Like, do you feel like Penny Marshall, like we could have gotten a few more Penny Marshall movies if the industry treated female filmmakers a little bit better back then?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, I think because riding in cars with boys, I believe that was 2001. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that even with the legacy that she had already built up to that point, I think that in a sad way, I think that her passing, it will, if nothing else, remind us that she brought a true level of genius to the craft of directing a film, Perri.
No, I would definitely agree with you on that. I mean, I don't think you can really remove that idea from this conversation, because I do think it plays a factor, and I still think it plays a factor to this day also. I'm sure we could find some newer filmmakers who maybe had one bump in the road and then were completely gone from our sight for a while before they were offered a chance to redeem themselves, if they even were, which is unfortunate. So hopefully having this conversation is another reminder that that should not be the case.
She was working on a Dennis Rodman documentary at the time.
It's called Rodman,
passing. Yeah. I don't know if someone else plans to finish that, if it was finished, but I look forward to that because he's quite the character.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody out there, if you're making decisions, if you're giving the green lights in Hollywood, you want to create more iconic classics like Big and like A League of Their Own, find a director like Penny Marshall, if that's even possible. Our next story is Todd Phillips is directing the Joker movie. And this is a different spin on the Joker movie. Hell, it's a different take on the DC universe entirely. And they wrapped filming today, which is why we're talking about it. Phillips went to his Instagram to share an image that... I mean, it's a picture of Todd Phillips. It's not, don't get excited that it's going to be some image of the Joker that gives away exactly what the movie's going to be about, because to be honest, we know the beats of this movie somewhat, but we really have no idea what tonally this movie is going to look like. I did get the Arkham Asylum feel from Todd Phillips in that picture. I mean, it says no unsupervised patience allowed, so we can kind of read into that. So is it at Arkham? Is it somewhere else? Does Arkham Asylum even exist in this world? We know that Thomas Wayne does, because that role is being played by Brett Cullen, originally by Alec Baldwin. Now Brett Cullen, who's a fantastic actor, perfect for the role of Thomas Wayne. Mark Maron's in the movie. Robert De Niro's in the movie. De Niro plays a talk show host. Maron is his agent. And they're going to have the character of the Joker on their show being played by Joaquin Phoenix. Perri, everything else is pretty much just us bantering and postulating and guessing. I'm not going to ask you if this image gives away anything else, but what is riding on this Joker movie for the future of DC, for the future of Todd Phillips, for the future of comic book movies in general? Is there a lot?
I'm not going to say it's make or break. It's all going to be over if this doesn't pan out well. But I do think that they have a lot riding on it in terms of this other branch that they're starting with this movie, in terms of just making one-offs. And if this one does wind up hitting it big, I kind of want to see that continue. And this kind of goes back to the conversation that we were having before. One misfire shouldn't necessarily dictate an entire franchise's future, but I have a lot of faith in this project. The fact that Joaquin Phoenix signed on, and really... Now that we've gotten this image, I'm not reading into the image, but what I'm hoping for is that we see an official piece of promo art soon, because I think one of the best things we got out of the production of this movie in terms of early releases of things on social media is that makeup test. That is hands down one of the most chilling things that I've seen in a long time, that has absolutely nothing to do with maybe a single second of film that we're going to see in the final feature, but that really just set the right tone, I think, and got me really pumped for it.
Yeah, and Jeff, there's been some footage that leaked, and again, when you say footage leaked, maybe this is footage that was intended to get out early. There's a subway scene. We know the cast of the movie is Zazie Beetz also in the film. Is there, because I look at this movie and saying, well, if this movie does well, you can pair it with Spider-Verse in the sense that, hey, we can go outside the normal sandbox of what people expect from a comic book movie as far as continuity goes, as far as bringing in other characters from other movies, and you can just have a one-off film a lot like you would with certain comic book runs that start and end, and that's it. So what is riding on the Joker movie?
A lot. Not a lot from a financial perspective, because the movie only cost $55 million, and just the fact that it is a well-known IP, it is the Joker. I have no, I have faith that it's going to make its money back. But it's like Perri said, Warner Brothers has this whole strategy laid out that starts with Joker doing these one-offs. So in that sense, there's a lot riding on that. I think that there's a lot riding just in terms of Joaquin Phoenix and his whether he has a good experience on this movie, and whether it is successful, because so many other filmmakers who have been reluctant to take on comic book movies the way Joaquin has, they could look to this and then say, you know what, I see what Joaquin did with this iconic character, which he had some huge shoes to fill. Everyone was saying, I see what he did with it, and maybe now I'm going to try to do it. So it could lead to a whole nother, you could start seeing Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise in comic book movies based on Joaquin's experience with this one.
I mean, I just want to see more movies that will go away from the universes that we know, whether you still want to call it the DC Extended Universe or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and just have these one-off movies. It's something that we talked about when Deadpool was coming out, where it's like Deadpool does not care about the rules. So Deadpool, could we have a movie that is just simply Logan played by Hugh Jackman on a road trip with Deadpool, and we just get an adventure, and that's it, and it doesn't have to exist in any other X-Men movie? I think that'd be fun. I think it'd do very well at the box office. But with a Joker movie, this could be its own universe. It could not be. We have no idea what capacity we're going to see Batman in. So it's just a very interesting time with movies right now. And so I'm rooting for this movie to be good, first of all. I don't want it to be successful unless it's a good movie. But if it's a good movie, Perri, do you think we could see more films that follow suit like this?
I think follow suit, but not in terms of continuing a franchise. I have a feeling Joaquin Phoenix signed on for one movie and they will leave it at that. But I am really rooting for this thing because I want to see them blow the doors wide open to creative possibilities. And I also want to see studios and big franchises out there start to embrace these more mid-range budgets also, because I think that in and of itself paves the way to more creative opportunities, because there's only so much risk you can take when you're spending $100 million plus on a production compared to something in like that 30 to 60 range. Then you can kind of play around and try some different things.
Which is why it's tough to get an actor of the name brand like a Tom Cruise or a Brad Pitt, unless they want to be involved in the production of it too, because then you can just add points on the back end. How do you add points on the back end? Well, it's like, well, if the movie's going to be successful, then I reap those benefits. That's why this Joker movie, Jeff, really, if they want to make more like these, you got to hope this thing crushes.
And you know who else has a lot riding on this movie is the guy in the photo, Todd Phillips. Like he hasn't directed a movie in a while. I think that this could, open some big doors for him in his career. Could sort of rebrand him. He's well known as a comedy director, but this is going to, take his career in another direction. And again, could inspire other filmmakers to take this kind of plunge.
All right, I'm curious for your take on this too, because I know that you lukewarm, to be nice, about your feelings on Avengers: Infinity War. So I'm going to take y'all to the movies. Take my hand.
No.
We're walking to the multiplex.
Here
and lo and behold, it's 2019. We can see any comic book movie coming out in that year we wanted to.
That's
the Joker's
not nice.
playing. And then over there's Captain Marvel. And then, Avengers 4 Endgame. That looks incredible. What movie?
The easiest decision I've ever made.
The easiest decision you've ever made. You got Shazam in there.
The decision is Joker.
You're going to see Joker.
I will definitely be there at Joker.
Okay, Jeff Sneider is going to see Joker. There's some X-Men movies coming out. You're not maybe a New Mutants or Dark
This
Phoenix?
is so not cool.
This is why.
This is really not, because
I love this. This is a great.
There's so many reasons I'm excited about so many of these movies,
question.
but I think I'm gonna play this game from the spoiler perspective and say Avengers Endgame, just because I don't want any of that spoiled for me, and I have a feeling that would be more detrimental to my first viewing of that movie than, let's say, a spoiler leaking about Joker hurting my experience watching that for the first time.
Yeah, and I will say this about Jeff. He's pretty good in the office about movies he's seen that nobody else has seen yet. He's pretty cagey about it. He's not like some other people that are going to come in and want to have conversations.
Spoil things. Yeah, no.
In common areas about movies that nobody else has seen. So I do give you props on that. For myself, I think I'm probably going with Perri to go see Avengers Endgame just because you want to know. I don't know that it's my most anticipated, even comic book movie of that year. But speaking of that, we're going to have that vid coming up very shortly on Movie Talk within a couple weeks. So in the meantime, we move on to our next story. But we don't do that before we remind everybody out there that Perri Nemiroff, look, is she great at choosing which movie she's going to see in some sort of weird futuristic apocalypse landscape? No, she's not great at it. What does Perri excel at? Broadcasting. And she has a podcast with Haley Fouch called The Witching Hour. You can check out it every week on Collider Podcast. Perri Nemiroff, what are we talking about this week?
I can't tell if I like that tea up there or not.
she's terrible to trust in the future.
We have a really great episode of Witching Hour this week because it's our top 5 horror movies of 2018. We each have a list, and in the end, I think it's interesting how each of our lists reflects our overall taste quite a bit, so there isn't as much overlap as you might expect. But it was really nice going back and forth with Haley and kind of sharing what we're really pumped for about this year.
Okay, favorite horror movies 2018. Help me out here, Jeff. So you got A Quiet Place, Hereditary,
yeah, those were
Halloween.
3,
Another one.
Those 3 were really good.
Unsane.
Oh,
one of my favorites of the year for sure.
Unsane's great.
Unsane was not good. Revenge. Revenge is terrific.
So good.
Yeah. Don't know that I've seen that film.
I watched Revenge for the first time the other night to prepare for that list, and I don't even think I was ready for what I was about to experience, even though all of you had been talking about it.
It was amazing. Unsane is just so, I don't know, unsatisfying.
Oh man,
Really?
I thought it was. I love the way it built tension, and you
So did I.
felt like, wait, we're rooting for this character, but are we going crazy? Are we going down this rabbit
And
hole?
even
I
how
love the way it was made.
The visual style kind of sucks you in, and it makes you feel so boxed into that location with her.
I like that.
Really unsettling.
I like having my emotions displaced from time to time because in my ordinary everyday life, there's just nothing going on here. So it's nice to watch a movie and make something move me. That went deep. Now, look, what we're going to talk about here before we move on to our next story as well is the movie trivia Schmoedown. You want to talk about moving your emotions? The Spectacular is this Friday, December 21st, and we have a preview going up on the channel. Right now, me and Christian Harloff hosting a preview. What's going to happen? What do we expect to happen? What sort of mayhem will ensue at the movie trivia Schmoedown Spectacular 3? On that note, we are announcing shortly the ticket link where you guys can go to the Schmoedown Awards Show. We're going to open it to the public this year. The Schmoedown Awards Show. It's going to be at the world famous Comedy Store in the main room. Finally, the Schmoedown and the greatest comedy club in the world unite. I'm going to be hosting the event. Christian and a number of Schmoedown luminaries are going to be on hand Saturday, January 12th. I was going to say July 12th, but I'm like, that's a little bit too long to wait. So Saturday, January 12th, 1 p.m. is showtime. We're going to have tickets just as soon as we get that link live and up. Get ready because limited space on that day. We know a lot of you guys want to go. All right. Where do you go, Bernadette? That's the name of the movie that we're going to talk about the trailer now. Trailer just debuted, and it stars Cate Blanchett, and it's from filmmaker Richard Linklater, which is interesting. I had no idea that this had the Linklater touch on it. Cate Blanchett, and I mean, look, this movie, it's got a really good cast. Billy Crudup and her are parents of a kid who decides she wants to go to Antarctica, and then a weird adventure ensues. Judy Greer's in it, Lawrence Fishburne, Kristen Wiig, Emma Nelson. The movie comes out March 22nd, 2019. It looked cute. I didn't read the novel by Maria Semple, I believe is her name. Yep. So it looked fine. Perri?
I'll see anything that Linklater releases, so I didn't need a trailer for this movie. But yeah, I'll admit the trailer didn't get me super hyped for the movie. At the very beginning of it, I was kind of listening to it and listening to some of the dialogue, and I'm like, yeesh, some of these jokes are not working. And then I feel like once the point hits in the trailer where she disappears and everyone's like, oh, where'd she go? Like, I was kind of wondering, where'd she go? I want to know. So maybe it hooked me enough from that perspective, but some of it feels maybe like a little like tonally and timing off, but then again, this is just a trailer.
Just a trailer, Jeff. Movie opens in March. Do you trust Richard Linklater? Do you trust Cate Blanchett?
I love Linklater, and Cate Blanchett is one of the best actresses that we have. And I was actually really excited for this. I thought that the premise was intriguing in like a kind of Gone Girl light kind of way, but this just seems
very light.
Yeah, this seems a little too light. It's. I did not like the tone of the trailer. It's mom has disappeared, but like I know nothing bad has happened to her. It felt I don't know, with the Antarctica thing, like a little Walter Mitty-ish. I don't know. I like this cast, but everyone just feels kind of out of place. Emma Nelson looks good, the girl.
Were you expecting like a darker tone going into it, where it would be a little more ominous about something having happened to her?
Yes, exactly. I don't know. Cate Blanchett, I don't know how great she is at comedy. You know, she was cast in Ocean's 8 as well, and to me, she didn't really work in that. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like whatever to me.
Seems cute. Seems like a cute family movie, but I don't have high hopes for this. This is not on my most anticipated list, which you're also going to see coming up next week. I just, I'm fine with this movie. I'm a fan of Cate Blanchett, obviously, Richard Linklater, Billy Crudup too.
It's hard to like root for a woman who leaves her family. Right, that's sort of what it's.
Well, we don't know.
That's the challenge.
We don't know where Bernadette went.
Yeah, and why she went there.
Could it be a good reason? I don't know.
Do you think she's shacking up with a guy at Motel 6?
I think this is going to be a tricky marketing challenge for Annapurna, and maybe why. I think it was supposed to come out at the end of this year, and then they bumped it to March. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it opens March 22nd. That's kind of wedged in that month in between Captain Marvel, which kicks off the month, and Dumbo, which closes it out the week afterward. You go Bernadette. So I don't know that this is going to be a big box office hit for Annapurna. I don't know that they are anticipating anything.
Here's the big question. Okay, so we have to have this conversation.
Oh, no.
Where did you go? Question mark.
Yeah.
Why is there no question mark on this title? It's driving me nuts.
That's you're a big punctuation guy?
Yes. Where'd you go? Bernadette should have a question mark at the end of it. And
Wait,
there isn't one.
Google the book. Is there a question mark?
No, there isn't.
Really?
There isn't. It's driving me crazy, Mark. I need an answer.
Maybe it's because it's not the end of that sentence. Maybe it's just there's more to that sentence. Where'd you go, Bernadette? ...
though.
My love.
The Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite movie with a punctuation?
I was sure you
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia does have an exclamation point.
Wait.
I have a movie.
Won't you be my neighbor?
I have a movie with a question mark. What? Dude, where's my car? I believe that had a question mark.
It did.
Wait, so the punctuation has to be a question mark?
No. It can be anything.
So I could go with the Spider-Man movie because it's got a little dash in it.
Oh boy,
is that cheating?
Yes.
I mean, it feels like it, but no, you played by the rules. You went by the letter.
Can you ever forgive me? There's a question mark
there
movie.
All right, I'm going straight.
This year. Between that and Won't You Be My Neighbor?
And Won't You Be My Neighbor? That's a good one too.
I'm going straight exclamation point, and I'm going Hot Shots.
This or I could go
Top
good.
Secret. I think Top Secret is the one.
That is a good one.
You know what's funny is doesn't Everybody Want Some have
two exclamation points.
2 exclamation points at the end of it.
Everybody wants
some. It's like it took the punctuation mark from this movie.
That's fun.
Linklater, like what's going on? You can't have 2 there and none here.
Richard Linklater, you got to work on your punctuation, buddy. You're a great filmmaker, but that punctuation really, really driving some of us insane, and others don't really care about it. We're going to save some time for your live Twitter questions. Go ahead and start tweeting us right now at Collider Video. Use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk. One more movie trailer to get to, and that is The Secret Life of Pets 2. Which, the way I said, it should have an exclamation point on it, but it doesn't. It's just a sequel to The Secret Life of Pets. Patton Oswalt steps in here. He is voicing the lead character, Max, who was voiced by Louis C.K. That ain't happening, so now Patton Oswalt steps in, and Kevin Hart's Snowball is now a superhero. There's a whole lot of original cast members that are returning for this movie. Jenny Slate, Eric Stonestreet, Ellie Kemper, Lake Bell, Dana Carvey, Hannibal Buress, Bobby Moynihan. Great cast in this movie. I was a fan of the trailers for the first The Secret Life of Pets. And then I saw the movie, and I liked a couple scenes, and I really felt like, I hate to say it because there's so many cute pets in there, so there's some good comedy. I thought it was a missed opportunity. I thought this could have been an all-time classic because everybody always wants to know, what are our pets doing when we're not there? And it felt like it dropped the ball a little bit, Jeff.
I'm 100% with you. I was really looking forward to Secret Life of Pets. Love that first trailer. And yeah, I can barely remember the movie. Like, the plot just seemed so stupid and childish, and this movie, I may check this seems like a rental for me, the sequel, but I just why are even like comic book and superhero stuff, it's now like co-opting animation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the trailer didn't wow me, and also I wasn't like, oh no, more of the same. I think there's a lot of potential here, Perry. You have new cast members that include great comedians, Tiffany Haddish, Pete Holmes, Nick Kroll, and Harrison Ford is also going to be doing a voice in here.
I did really like the first Secret Life of Pets movie, but even though I liked it, there's no denying that it didn't reach its full potential, which I think is unfortunate. With these new little mini trailers that they're doing, I really dug the one for Max and Chloe, especially the one for Chloe, because I looked at that and I said to myself, I have a cat. I've been in a similar situation before. I get it. What I think this one did wrong is I think it flip-flopped the way that it should have been organized. If it had started in the little girl's room with her dressing up her pet rabbit, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, gotta go to school. And then we got that whole bit after of what the rabbit does, Snowball does after the kid leaves. Like, why is it not the other way around?
That's a good point. Seems to really be weighing on you. The Secret Life of Pets.
I mean, as I watched it, because I had that feeling when I first started watching it is, they're trying to kind of like get in on the superhero hype now, and it feels a little forced, and I don't like it. And then they get to the second half, and then I said to myself, oh, I get it, because kids out there love superhero movies, so of course one would want to dress up her pet as a superhero, so just reverse it.
Okay. Okay, I want to ask everybody out there, who cares more about their passion today? Is it Jeff Sneider with the punctuation, or is it Perri with the dressing the pets up? Let us know the answer. Tweet us at Collider Video, because we love hearing from you. We're going to take some of your live Twitter questions. We'll probably take a few of them because we got some time today. I do want to mention that we have the rule of two. I was hearing it broadcast as we came in, because the two marks, they get a little loud when they talk about Star Wars. So check out the Rule of Two podcast. That'll be up tomorrow, as well as one more edition of Collider Live this week. 10 a.m. is when that kicks off. Collider Heroes, and of course Movie Talk. Come on back here for your pals, hosted by this pal at 4 p.m. in the PT. All right, you guys ready for some live Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
Any more airing of grievances on the news on today's show that you want to bring to our attention?
As long as their punctuation is correct, read it.
That's a good question. This, first of all, Collider Video, our own Collider Video, so I'm guessing it's probably Dorian or Jack who tweeted this. They were a big fan of the Where'd You Go, Bernadette, the lower third that we had here. It was Bye Bye Bernie. I think that's pretty, just another one of our classic, the lower thirds. Let's be honest. I'm decent at this job. I'm nowhere near of the talent level as to whoever's making the lower thirds. The lower thirds, they are the star of Movie Talk. I just happen to be riding shotgun. Okay, Maggie Ledbetter says, if you could place a Joker movie in any historical time, when would you place it? Would it be an origin or not, and why? So we get to build our own Joker movie, and you get to put it in a different historical time period. This Joker movie, I believe, comes out in the 80s is when we're looking at. So do you want to make it an 80s movie, a 90s movie? Do you want to go a little bit further back in history? Do you want to go back decades, eons?
I feel like whenever the question is posed, what era do you want something to happen in, or even like where would you time travel to? I always go either way into the future or way into the past. The most I could possibly do to kind of shake it up and do something different.
So you're going to go to the future? Or the
I think I would do one or the other, especially if, with what we're getting with this Joker movie, with it having the comedian element, just seeing how that kind of stuff evolves in the future, maybe.
Jeff, I don't even know that there will be comedians in the future. Sorry, Mark.
There's always going to be
the way things are going these days, you can't tell people jokes anymore.
Maybe that's what gets under the Joker's skin.
Maybe.
And he's pissed about, automated comedians being all over the place.
Safe comedians, playing it safe.
No, I mean, you can still say funny stuff. You just have to be funny,
I suppose. I would take it to the past. I would make the Joker either like a Jewish comic doing like the cat skills, like in the 50s, like that.
Oh, so we're going Dirty Dancing,
like opening for Henny Youngman.
Yes, sure. Or we go way back and we go medieval Joker, and the Joker's a jester for like a king.
That sounds badass.
I think Jeff
I am sold.
Boom, medieval Joker.
I think Jeff just won. I was thinking it'd be cool to see a Joker like at the outset of the beatnik going into the hippie movement in the 60s. But I kind of like the jester idea too much, especially with
because that feels so drastically different from anything we've seen before too.
Right, but also it's like you think of a court jester and you think of the Joker makeup, and the one that's going to be taking care of the king.
So close to the king.
Yeah,
easy to do things.
I like that. I like that. I don't like the crazy look in your eyes.
That's right. Dun, dun, dun. Warner Brothers, call me.
All right, M. Brenner's next up, and look,
you'll call them.
M. Brenner's always honest. Sure. Look, if Jeff calls Warner Brothers, they have to take that phone call. He says so.
The first call.
First call. M. Brenner is asking, is it okay to duck out of a family Christmas to see a really good movie?
You're
talking to two Jews, so yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it is.
You're also posing this question to the person who went to the movies with her family to see Beautiful Boy and ducked out to go see Overlord, so.
Wait. Wait, you took your family to see A Beautiful Boy.
I saw A Beautiful Boy
Beautiful
already,
Boy.
and I
But-
really wanted to see Overlord.
Okay, but your family wanted to see Beautiful Boy? Or
They
you
They wanted to see Beautiful Boy, and
Okay.
whatever Nana wants goes. But I really wanted to see Overlord.
Nana didn't want to see Overlord. You couldn't convince her.
Nana would have watched Overlord. Really?
I think Nana
She
would have
loves
done
yeah, she
Overlord.
probably would have liked it. She likes genre stuff.
How'd they like Beautiful Boy?
They did like Beautiful Boy quite a
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys
So
are
everyone
signing
was
off.
happy. Yeah.
Is there a holiday where you can't tuck out in the family to go see?
You really just can't do it when you're like at a funeral or sitting Shiva. Basically, you can't like make a Shiva call and then be like, I gotta leave early.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you just
that's
drew
about
the
it.
line in a
Yeah.
very
Passover.
appropriate place.
I will peace out on Passover to see the right movie.
Oh, are we just talking Jewish holidays right
Oh,
now?
I don't know. What other holidays are there?
Well, I mean, look, Christmas. I'm not talking out my family to go see a movie on Christmas. However, I will take the family to go see a movie on Christmas. We've done that before.
Yeah.
We saw Titanic as a family on Christmas. It was great.
What if you got like family, friends, and your parents have to entertain a whole like house full of cousins and people? You and your siblings can't just like duck out and go see. Like,
See,
Aquaman?
that's
The
a
excuse-
different story. It's
Yeah.
like if it was a huge family gathering and a bunch of the siblings or cousins were like, all right, let's go do something, then it's okay. But really, if I'm talking about an event where the whole family gets together, that's probably not when I would say, bye, guys, I'm going to go see a movie.
It's always okay.
I think
Except for shit.
the one pass that any family member would give is somebody else in the family. If it was me and my brother and my sister, and we snuck out of Christmas to go see Episode 9. That's the one, or a Star Wars movie. That's the one where the family gives a pass because my entire family loves Star Wars, so we're huge Star Wars fans. If you get out of Christmas, you better go be seeing a Star Wars movie.
Star Wars is the only types of movies that get a pass from the Ellis family.
From the Ellis family, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we are big. I'm sorry. What do you need to watch in the Sneider household to get a pass?
Cold War.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You better be watching Dr. Zhivago or else you're grounded. Star Wars is great. Don't let anybody tell you different. Okay, let's see. Steve Calderon is next up, and he says, name one blockbuster movie, one horror movie, and one small indie movie you're looking forward to seeing in 2019.
I knew this was going to be kind of like, difficult in terms of tapping into my memory and all the lists that I've already made because I wanted to
Well,
align
let's-
with all my other choices.
Let's start
Take it one
easy.
at a time.
All right,
Let's start with
blockbuster.
the blockbuster movie in 2019. I'll stick with
Okay,
my
I'll-
originals. I'm going to go episode 9.
All right, I'm gonna say because I tweeted last year that this would be my Avengers. Glass.
Okay, that
I am
counts as a blockbuster
super
movie.
pumped for Glass.
And
Me
I'll
too.
just play it kind of easy right now, and I'll stick with Endgame. I think that movie is going to be a
Okay.
pretty big deal next
Look,
year.
there's a lot of blockbusters we're going to get excited to see. Godzilla, I didn't forget about you. Just had to rep Star Wars. All right, one horror movie. Can Godzilla be a horror movie?
It's
It
at the top
Chapter
of my
2?
list. Yeah, I
Okay.
need to see it. Chapter 2.
Okay, Jeff, you're not
No.
allowed to use glass again.
I am.
He's cheating. I have to do
No,
all
no.
of this on
I
memory.
know
You're
what my
looking at your
answer is. I
computer.
already know what my answer is. I just don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it.
Wow.
Let's just say that my most anticipated horror movie of next year is Jordan Peele's Us.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll leave
okay.
it at that.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I might have gotten a package in the mail regarding Us.
Do you want me to spoil what that package is?
No, but it is from Us.
Probably,
I saw something
yeah.
that it was a box from Universal, and I think there's scissors in it. So.
What's in the box?
I don't know what's in the box, but I just don't know enough about Us yet, and so I'm going to say Glass is the horror movie, and now a smaller indie movie. Anything on your radar just yet? It's tougher with the indie movies. I'll give you that because you don't hear about them as far in advance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm really looking forward to Sundance and kind of getting that opportunity to get a little bit of the lay of the land and, figure out basically what's going to be next year's 8th grade or something
Right.
along those lines. But there's a bunch of movies there that I'm really looking forward to see. The one that kind of sticks out in my mind, I don't even know if it counts as an indie movie, but I keep reading more and more casting news about Ryan Johnson's Knives Out. So that one's got my attention right now.
I love how that's an indie movie. It's,
it's
every
yeah.
star in Hollywood.
I know every star in Hollywood is in it. It probably has a sizable budget, but for some reason that came to mind right now.
All right. Well, then I'm going to say the same movie that I've been saying for 5 years. 5 years.
What do
This
you
was
got?
on my most anticipated list of 2015, and it still has not come out.
I'm so curious.
Have you ever heard of Bellflower? You seen that movie?
Oh, with the car. Yeah.
Exactly. Those guys, Coat Wolf, have been working on their second film, Chuck Hank and the San Diego Twins, for what seems like 7 years, and I think it's finally finished, and then next year we're gonna see it. It's with David Arquette.
I still to this day have a Bellflower lighter.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure it doesn't work anymore, but I have it.
I would buy it off you. That's great swag. Check out Bellflower, Ellis.
Yeah, I am totally at a loss for what y'all are talking about.
Chuck Hank and the San Diego Twins.
I'm sure it's from a studio, but I'm just going to say the animated Addams Family movie. That's all I got.
Cool. All right.
That's all I got. I'm really
that is
looking
from
forward to the
a studio.
Addams Family movie. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Ari Aster's new movie. There's one.
That's
Midsummer.
That's legit.
Midsummer. I think that counts.
It does.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this summer. Kristen Offrio has the next question. He says, if you could see any music video on the big screen, what would it be?
Oy.
He got to watch Michael Jackson's Thriller in IMAX a few months ago, and he said it was incredible.
I am so far removed from my music video days. They very rarely come to my attention unless like all of the internet is talking about it.
Yeah.
Like I still can't believe the last music video I watched was the Ariana Grande one with the Mean Girls and the Clueless and all that.
Okay. All right. I mean, you could pick a classic music video, too, if you want. You can, you Take On Me.
I'm trying to think of even like a single I mean really I grew up watching like casually putting on MTV in the morning. You know when you're getting ready for school and you just have it on in the background? I was never really paying attention to the video. I was listening to the music.
Okay. So Jeff Sneider, Perri.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Pearl Jam's Jeremy. That's a great video.
That's an uplifting.
Radiohead's Paranoid Android is pretty cool. But if you've ever seen like the band from MTV cut of Prodigy's Firestarter, that has a great twist ending.
Okay.
Great twist ending to that video.
All right.
My honest answer to this question, by the way, would be any NSYNC video, if I'm really being honest with you guys.
That's all we want is honesty.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate it.
Well, now I'm going to go down like a really long...
Get down that rabbit hole, Perri.
rabbit hole. The ones that I remember the most and that still stick with me are like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, like all of the 90s groups there.
Cranking out great video
Like
content.
Nirvana. Nirvana put out some good music videos.
I listened to a good deal of Nirvana. I never watched many of the videos,
I think
though.
a very cinematic music video to watch on the big screen would be the Guns N' Roses Estranged video. It's 9 minutes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say November Rain, because that's a great one.
Estranged is one that I haven't watched as much, so I want to go see what's going on in Estranged. But if I am also being honest, first of all, if I'm doing a Michael Jackson one, I'm not taking Smooth Criminal. No, I am taking Smooth Criminal. I'm not taking Thriller. Smooth Criminal, the dance, the lean, holy crap. But there is a music video that was banned from MTV because of things in it, but really it should have been banned anyway because it was just that bad. It is Van Halen's video for Pretty Woman. It's so stupid and bad. They're my favorite band by a mile, but God, that video is so dumb.
Now I kind of want to watch it.
And watch the Pretty Woman Van Halen video. What the hell's going on?
It's making me a little sad how few music videos have stuck with me, especially because I'm part of like the TRL generation, and that show was so important to, basically every person my age growing up for a specific period of time. And it's like even sitting there counting down every single day, so few of them are firmly ingrained in my mind like some of my favorite movies are. But I don't know, maybe that's just speaking to somebody's personal entertainment taste.
Yeah, and music videos just aren't in the culture like they used to be. So
I guess so, yeah.
Those Alicia Silverstone Aerosmith videos, those are pretty good.
Those are pretty good with the flipping off the camera
remember.
at the end of Crime. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, all right, let's do one more, and then we will call it a day. Grant is closing us out, and I am lucky enough to have two of the stars, the shining stars of the FYC show, to answer this question. Is there a performance in a film from this year that you were surprised is not in the awards conversation? For Grant, it's Joaquin Phoenix in what I'm assuming is You Were Never Really Here.
Surprised. Well, why are you giving me a look like I should be thinking of something right now?
Jeff seems to know something. He's got something up his sleeve.
I have one.
All right, I'll throw this one out there because it really has surprised me that it hasn't gotten any traction. It seems like Steve Carell is heartbreaking in Beautiful Boy. He is so good in Beautiful Boy, and yet Timothée Chalamet is getting all the attention. Carell is he's just being overshadowed. I really wish that we were talking about him more for that 5th Best Actor slot.
Perri Nemiroff.
I second that. The other actor that also came to mind was Nicholas Hoult in The Favorite. I was just rewatching that movie yet again the other night, and I think all three of those leading ladies deserve their honors, but his character is so well infused in their whole journey where nothing would have panned out for any of those characters the same way had it not been for how he manipulates the situation, and he does it so well.
Okay.
I have one more because I did a guy. I want to do a girl too.
Okay.
A woman, excuse me. Jennifer Lawrence in Red Sparrow. That is a bold turn. That is a bold movie star turn. She leaves it all out there. She was terrific.
Okay, there you go. I'm going to go with Dolph Lundgren in Creed 2. He was great in it, but he was great.
He was
great, but they took all my good answers.
call.
I don't do the FYC like they do every week, so I'm not as up to date on all the awards movies,
good.
but I do the movie news every day.
I have one more.
What do you got?
I want to give a shout out to Raffi Cassidy in Vox Lux, who happens to be on your feature for .com, right? You wanna plug it?
Soon. I'm not allowed to say these things yet until they come out, Perri.
It's a wonderful plug opportunity. But anyway,
we will have an interview with Raffi Cassidy before the end of the week, hopefully.
If you do watch the movie Vox Lux, I do think all the talk about Natalie Portman is well deserved. But when you watch that movie and see how her performance is woven into that, she basically creates the foundation for that character that I then think Natalie Portman runs with. But it's a very challenging role, and she just crushes it, and nobody's really talking about her.
I'm going to use this. Can you write my feature for me?
Man, this is
good.
I give you permission.
This
Take
was
it.
a situation. This is the talent that Perri Nemiroff brings to the table. Is that originally she was going to be like John Stockton, and she was trying to set up Karl Malone to finish, and you just totally bobbled it. You did not take it at all. So the ball went back to Perri. She turned into Russell Westbrook and just did it all herself.
Done.
Great job, Perri. Thank you for carrying the show once again. Jeff Sneider and I, we were just here today. Thank you all for tuning in to Collider Movie Talk. I do want to thank Mr. Sneider, who will not play me on words with friends, Perri Nemiroff, who is always game for a good match. I am merely Mark Ellis. Throw it to the wide to say goodbye. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow bright and early at 4 p.m. for a new edition of Collider Movie Talk. Hey everybody, Mark Ellis here. Thanks for watching this episode of Collider Movie Talk. You want to watch more? Then click up here, or you can click right here for more great content from Collider. And if you haven't subscribed to Collider Video, do so right now and share this vid with your friends. Thanks for watching.